Just jump straight in.
Yeah.
All right. How have you been though? Mentally, I think on a scale from 1 to 10 yesterday, you said 9. You said 8.
Yeah, like eight, eight. I'd say I'm about the same.
Okay. So about an 8 today too?
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, cool, cool, cool. No, that's good. That's good. And I think you said, why did you say 8?
I have a few things on my mind.
Yeah.
Uh, but like overall, things are good.
What do you feel like it'll take for you to get to a 9? Because I know you said a 10 isn't typically where you are. Like you're like, not really something you see.
Tens
But
are well, it's only because of the way like that my mind is.
yeah,
Mine says that things can always get better or things can be worse. So I've never ever said I was at a 10 for anything.
yeah.
It's hard for me to choose that.
Mm.
I guess I'll be at a 10 when I'm in heaven.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that. I definitely feel that. The same when you're in heaven. Yeah, yeah. Just having that feeling of like, yeah, you're just not there. You being honest with yourself.
Mhm.
Like, how often do you analyze your mental health? Like, how often do you sit back and go, where am I?
I try to do it daily, you know. I try try to take some time
I think
every
you
day.
broke up, Kay.
Oh, I did? Can you
You're
hear me?
frozen on my end.
Am I good now?
Hey, I don't know why it's frozen.
Hmm. I'm not frozen on my end, so
Okay, you're back now. You're back now.
okay, well that's good.
Sorry about that. I was like, I'm gonna definitely you gonna see that in the video. If it caught it on my end, then you
I
froze
mean,
up right when you're talking.
yeah, I probably will see it on your video because like since you're the one recording. Because
Yeah, that's crazy.
when I said the one time when you like uploaded the movies one,
Yeah.
I was like, it's
Hmm.
lagging. Like it wasn't
Hmm.
lagging on your end, obviously. So I don't know.
That's crazy. I don't
Is
know
it?
why I had glitched.
I don't know. But anyways, as I was saying, um,
Hmm.
I said I typically try to analyze my mental health or check
Mm.
on myself every day. Like at some point,
Really? Wow.
yeah. And just kind of like checking in, like how am I feeling? Why am I feeling like this?
Yeah.
What am I feeling?
Wow. That's actually amazing. You do that every day?
Try to.
Oh, you froze again. Oh, they're freezing. That's weird.
That's weird.
Okay, there you go. Okay, you're back. That's crazy. Yeah,
That is that's weird.
it wasn't even doing that on the last call. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, good though. But you said that you do it every day. Is there a specific like time, or is there like a thing that prompts it every day?
I think it's just kind of just checking in with myself, just kind of like, how am I feeling? Like it's just kind of like how am I feeling today?
Mm. How long have you done that? How long have you checked on yourself every day?
Um,
When did that start?
I think it's been since uh since I went into therapy and since I had that really bad since I almost killed myself,
Mm.
kind of like a check-in kind of thing. Like it's kind of like something that my counselor kind of recommended that I do is just
Wow.
even like analyzing your feelings, like writing them down,
Yeah.
feeling them, trying to like put words to them.
Wow.
Like, what are you feeling?
Yeah.
And just or like if you get overwhelmed and stuff, like there was a lot of times um, because when I was going through that portion of my
Yeah.
life,
Hmm.
I was in the army and there was just a lot of stressors that was happening.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I would get kind of overwhelmed and like a panic attack kind of feel, like where I would
Wow.
like my my head, get into myself, get into like all of these feelings, like where I would kind of like shut down almost. So
Yeah.
that to take the time, like I would like if there was a chance, like if I had the chance, like we weren't really doing anything, I
Yeah.
would I would take my notebook out and I would like write down what I was like feeling in that moment.
Wow. Wow. That's to be honest, I admire that. That you do check in on yourself like that. Like a lot of people, I think have a hard time facing themselves, facing what they how they truly feel.
Yeah. It's not
Y-
easy. It's not always easy, but I think
Yep.
it's helpful because like when you have a name for it, like when you have a like then you can start to like process it
Yeah.
better. Or at least like with my counselor or whatever, we could
Yeah.
process there. Like it's like I would bring my notebook with me and like talk about some of the things that I went through that week
Yeah. Hmm.
that I had, maybe how I overcame them.
Wow.
Sitting down and writing them was like a process. Like
Yeah.
I don't really write it anymore. Like now it's just kind of like a little bit of a check-in sometimes. You just go like,
Mm.
how are you feeling? Um, what's going on? Why are you feeling like this? It also helps like
Yeah.
figure out, like sometimes it's just like I mean as a female, sometimes it's just like my cycle is coming up.
Mm.
So like you can like by checking in on that, you can kind of like gauge that too.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. No, that's really good. You mentioned, and this was actually mentioned in church today. You mentioned panic attacks.
Hmm.
How, I guess my question for that would be like, how does, well, in church, the question was asked, how does that feel? How does a panic attack feel? I've never had one, but how does that feel for you, or how did it feel for you when you had it? If you don't mind
Well,
me asking.
for me, it's just like a lot of anxiety, just a bunch of like just like fear, kind of like
Mm.
I don't know, feels heavy, like just anxious, a little bit like you can't do anything, you don't know what to do, you're kind of stuck,
Oh,
like you can't move sometimes.
yeah.
Um, you can get like deep breathing, sometimes like heavy breathing
Mm.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Just overwhelmed, I guess.
How do you, is there a technique or something that you can do to break out of a panic attack? Do you have to just let it pass?
Sometimes it's just like I think acknowledging that it's happening. For me,
Mm.
I would take deep breaths as well.
Yeah.
Just like deep breathing. That was something that was or trying to focus on something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, me writing down like the feelings that I was having, what was
Mm.
causing the panic attack, what was overwhelming me.
Yeah.
Is there something I can do? Is it something I can control?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's good. Wow. Wow. Would you ever like, I know sometimes I've heard people mention like deep breathing techniques. Are those things that you've used before?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. Were they helpful?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it calms your nervous system down. That's the thing, is like it takes when you take the steps to actually like it's like counting in your breathing. So you like
Mm.
take a deep breath for like count to 5
Yeah.
and then let it out
Yeah.
and count to 5 and then keep doing that. Because then you're like focused on your breath instead of whatever is happening.
Mm.
Because you're focusing on counting your breath.
Yeah.
Because normally you're not counting your breath while when you're breathing. So like
Yeah.
this actual like focus, you can go all the way up to 10, as well, like counting it and then letting it out
Wow.
slowly. Because then you're like focusing on that instead of focusing on whatever is causing the panic.
Panic. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Wow. Do you, can I write this? Do you feel like you have a safe space around you to maintain or control your mental health? Like, do you feel like there's a safe space around you?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, so in terms of like people around you, things that you have around you, you feel like you have those things in a, I guess in a control sense where you can, if something's getting overwhelmed, if something's get out of hand, you can maneuver. Because some people don't really have that, like they have a
Mhm.
home or something that they go to, but they have to stay there. They have to go back home. They have to go inside of environments that they don't want to. But you would say that you can control those things around
Most part. I mean, there's still some things like there's still places, I guess, that
you. Mm,
like do give me a little bit of anxiety or like thoughts, like I get and so
mm,
I guess I don't necessarily have control just because I mean one of those places is like the VA health
yeah, yeah,
talks about that. And since that's where my insurance is at the moment,
yeah,
I get my health care.
yeah,
That's some place I have to go. And it's not even that it's like a bad place. It just causes anxiety
yeah.
experiences I've had. Um, so it's just something you got to do and something you deal with while you're there.
Well, thank you for that transparency. I really admire that. Um, and I understand it. Understand it. Um, how often, and again, this is just, I'm kind of just like, it's not really a topic. There's a few things I've been having in my mind, floating in my mind in regards to mental health that I'm just throwing at you. So you may be kind of feeling a little blindsided, but I'm throwing random thoughts at you. It's kind of a random mental health thought there.
I'll answer to the best of my ability.
No, no, no. Hey, transparency. I just want to know what you feel or how you're feeling. Um, how often, I guess, as of late, have people been coming to you in regards to their mental health? Like, have you been having people coming to you in regards to not feeling up to par, or being depressed, anxiety, suicidal? Um, have you had those things?
There's been people that have confided in me with some stuff that's been going on in their lives. Yeah.
Wow, wow. Have you, how have you been handling that? Has it been stressful for you, burdensome for you because of where you are in your life? Or do you feel like it's been pretty easy for you too? And
I
you
think
kind
like I
of,
think for me, like I'm glad that they come and talk to me, that they feel safe to talk to me about stuff. Like I
yeah,
think and mostly what I do, I mean, especially like with the people that know me, is well, actually with everybody, because everybody that knows me knows that I believe in God and that I will pray for them. So
yeah.
when they tell me about it, I just basically tell them I'll pray for them. And I do pray for them. Sometimes, like, if they're
Oh,
willing, I'll pray for them, like, we'll pray together,
wow,
like, right in that moment.
wow.
So I think, like, there's that. And
Yeah,
if they don't want to pray right then, that's okay. Like, I will take it to prayer, after we're done talking or whatever. And I think that that's, like, that keeps it, to me, that keeps it from, like, staying on me, basically.
yeah,
Is because I've already given it up to God. Uh,
yeah,
and so like, but I'm grateful that they come and talk to me because like I think I want to be able to be that safe space or whatever for them to talk
yeah.
going on.
Mhm. Wow, wow, that's beautiful. I love that. Not only are you giving them the best resolution, right, which is Christ, but they feel safe to. These people are calling you.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Or
Do
at
you
least,
feel,
or texting me. Like we don't always call. And
yeah.
introverts don't always call people. Sometimes we'll text. Or we text first and say, "Hey, can I call you?"
No, that's dope. That's dope. That's super dope. I love that. Do you feel like you're able to balance their load while also still addressing yours? Do you feel like you have that under control?
Think so. I mean, like for the most part, is I don't try to take on their load, is what, like, like I listen,
Yeah,
I hear what they have to say, and then and I, talk if they need me to talk to them, or we pray, like I said.
yeah.
Um, and then I keep it in my mind, like what they're going through.
Mm,
And I have them, whenever I think about them, I send a prayer up. Or when I'm doing my prayers in the morning, I'll just be remembering them and saying, well, I pray for that situation that they're going through, that it gets better, you know?
yeah, yeah,
And I think that's what's helpful for me, anyways, is just if I if I do that, that's all I can do at this moment. If I give it to God, then I think that's the best place for it to be.
absolutely. Wow, I love that.
Then for me, it's my own stuff that I have, obviously I need to give that to God too. So, um,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
cool, but there's still times when you feel the things that you feel, right? So it's
yeah.
just still, um, processing it and going through it and just giving it to God every day.
Oh, well, no, that's dope. I love that. Would you say that in this moment in your life, you're happy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm. Happy.
And the source of that happiness, I'm always asked, but
The source of my happiness?
yeah.
Um, I mean, God is definitely the source of my happiness. There's no
Hmm.
because he's been faithful in everything that I have, through my ups and downs, through everything. I mean, I'm alive. That's a
Yeah,
source. I'm still here. That's amazing, especially from where I was at before, you know?
yeah. Hmm.
About what I've gone through and where I've been before and to where I'm at now. I'm just happy. And having cut out certain people in my life, um, that's been helpful as well for
Yeah,
um just working on myself in general, like, going to the gym, different friends that I have, the church family I have, like, I don't know, my cats,
yeah,
just the little,
yeah.
I don't know, to me it's the little things that make me happy.
Wow. So you've learned to, or it sounds like gratitude is driving the happiness for sure.
Yeah, gratitude, contentment, I think.
Mm. Contentment in what exactly?
Just being where you and being in what I have, just being content where I'm at, what I have,
Hmm.
present moment, content with life, content with, not necessarily that sometimes I think people think of contentment as being the end antithesis of progress or antithesis of um ambition. But I
Yeah,
don't think that's really true. I think that you can be content and still drive and still be driven to be better, to do better, you know, to
yeah.
forward. But just being content means that I'm happy with what I have, and even if this is all I ever have,
Mm.
that it's enough. And to me, um, even if this is all I ever have, like that includes like if it's just me and God, like
Mm,
if it's just me and God forever, like that's enough. And that's what I think that's what our contentment is supposed to be in anyways, is in Christ.
mm.
Like that's what I think it means to be content. Like even if you have
Yeah.
nothing else but God, that's cool.
So you're saying like when you say me and God, you're saying like are you saying relationship status wise or just more so
Like any
even
even
mm,
like in anything, like relationships, yeah, but also like um, money wise, career wise, anything like that. Like you lose whatever, but I'll be content with my relationship with God, you know?
mm,
Like, even it like I mean, and I think I've seen this in some of my friends who have been dealing with things like they're going through hard stuff like health crises and different things and
yeah,
like drawing them closer to God, right? And it's like of course they want to be healed and of course I'm praying for that.
yeah,
They're praying for that, but they're also doing what they need to do, with the medicine that we have, with the things that are here, and they're going through life and dealing with that crisis, dealing with
yeah.
that situation in the moment, and like being content in God and trusting God, I guess,
Mm, mm,
that moment and allowing their faith to grow.
yeah,
And to me, I think that that's like the important thing.
absolutely. Wow,
And so
absolutely. I love that.
I've admired like some of my friends who are going through stuff. Like it helps me to like, put things in perspective sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, like yeah, and I guess what you're saying about that is like you end up realizing, man, like what am I complaining for?
Yeah.
You know?
And it's not even to say like, you shouldn't compare your problems really,
Yeah, yeah,
your problems necessarily, but like, it is putting them in perspective though. Like,
yeah,
is like thinking about it. Like your situation is still like it's still valid for you to feel the feelings that you feel, like about your situation or about what's happening or whatever.
thanks. Yeah,
But like, you can see different, like even just putting yourself in somebody else's shoes though, like it can help you like to maybe put your stuff in perspective too. Which doesn't like when I say that, it just means like I didn't go to therapy for a long time because I was like I didn't have as big of problems as somebody else. I didn't think, you know,
mm,
like my problems don't matter, you know?
mm,
Your problems still matter and it's still valid for you to like seek help if you think it will help you. Like if that's something that will help you, if that's something that's going to help you grow, like
yeah,
yeah, your problems aren't small. Like,
yeah,
like they're not small to you, so like you can get help. That
yeah.
makes sense. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of not.
Nah, don't feel any type of way. You say you talking you said exactly what we're talking about.
But
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I felt like that before, like where like it was like my problems were so small compared to like I would
compared to yeah,
compare myself to somebody else. Like I never went through this, I never went through that, I never.
yeah,
But like I did go through stuff that messed me up a little bit, and I needed
yeah,
help
yeah,
to figure it out. And by going, it helped me like
yeah,
to have tools and to like, do that. So if you feel like you need help or like, you know, no matter what your problems are, like you should go. You should get help. You should go seek counseling, seek, something like that.
yeah,
That it would be helpful. Um, because they're not gonna judge you for or they shouldn't anyways, for
Yeah.
conversation small.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. What else was I about to ask you? Um, I don't know what this thing is, but okay. I'm actually gonna try to go live on TikTok while we're doing this on my phone. So
Oh,
I'm not sure. Yeah, you can
oh, I
let me know
forgot.
if you can see it. What you say?
I forgot I was gonna do that too. I was gonna go live with the calls since it's
Yeah,
the pub. I forgot.
I don't even know if it'll allow me to. Yeah, fix it. If it's on your password, whatever your device try to just need. Okay. Yeah, if you can go live and then tell me if you can see us. But right now, you're like on it. You're on my live.
I'm on your live. You're on live.
hmm Yeah, I'm on TikTok live on my phone while on Zoom on my phone. Can you see
Oh,
this?
that's crazy. Yeah, I see you.
Can you hear us?
Uh, um,
Just ask the question.
no.
Dang. So you can
No.
see yourself?
Yeah, I can see myself. That's weird.
But you
Crazy.
can't but you can't hear it.
Oh, I can't hear it.
Dang. That's the
Yeah, I
issue.
turned it all the way up. I can't hear me.
That's the issue. Yeah, I think I had that issue last time. Okay.
Hmm.
I
Yeah, let
got
me
you.
reactivate my heart status. There you go.
Dang. That sucks. Because we're here, but you can't hear anything. I was like, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, that's weird to see my. I don't know. It's weird to me to
It's
see.
weird to see yourself.
I mean, I see me over there.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I wonder why I can't hear it. It's interesting.
I don't know.
I don't know why I can't hear it at all. You can't hear anything.
No, I have my phone like turned all the way up.
Feature settings. Yeah.
Like
I think
mute
it's
or
because say it again.
you have it on mute or something?
No, it's on mute.
Because
Um,
oh, you know what I know? I know what it is. Because this
what's that?
happens. It's because Zoom is using your microphone. So because Zoom is using your microphone, TikTok can't use your microphone.
TikTok can't use it. Wow.
So like,
Wow.
yeah, so that happened to me before. When
I
some
wonder.
it said another app was using my microphone, and so like for a while, like when I had a Bluetooth speaker,
Mm,
like it didn't work for some reason.
that's crazy. Okay. I got you. So I'll just end the TikTok. I mean, yeah, I'll end the live.
I
That's
I can go live on mine
yeah. If you want to go live on yours, you can for sure. I just don't know how they'll be able to hear me though.
because um like I mean I'll go I'll go live on my I'll just go live on my TikTok and then I'll put like you I'll I'll put you in the thing.
Okay. No, do however you want to do it. Go ahead. I'm here.
We'll figure
I'm
it out.
here.
Talk to the people though,
Chanel,
necessarily.
she's gonna be joining us on the fitness one. She just signed up.
Who?
Chanel. I'm not sure if you remember her.
I've never met her.
Oh wow, it's your first time then.
No, wait, Chanel, is she the one from Florida?
Yeah, from Florida. Yep.
Maybe.
The
Okay.
kettlebells.
Yeah, I know her then. I
Yep. You met
I
her before?
yeah, I went on a live or I went on a call with her before. Um
Wow.
that was actually the first fitness call I did with you, like in a group.
Wow. I think I remember now.
I
Yeah.
think it was the imposter one or something like that that you
Yeah.
did.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
poser. You poser.
Yeah. Poser. Yeah, I remember. Yep. Yep. That's
Okay,
dope.
let's see. So we're gonna call this live. Let's just talk.
Mental health.
I know
Yeah.
this is a mental health plan, but most likely I'm just gonna say let's just talk
True, because we're gonna be hopping.
because we'll be hopping and I don't feel like.
Yeah, exiting out and then open. Yeah, true. True. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. But I'm loving your responses though. I'm picking your brain just because of things I've had like recently. I've traversed a few things recently with mental health this past week.
Yeah, it has
And
been a crazy week for
say it
both of
again.
us. It has been a crazy week for both of us with like just people in our lives. That
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, like, you go through, you're gonna go through things like you said. You're gonna have things, and you should compare what you go through to others. Like
yeah.
it shouldn't. There's no challenge. There's no winning or competition when it
Mhm.
comes to mental health. But I do think that always having that willingness and that willing heart to pour into other people and let other people know that you're there for them is a good thing to do. And checking up on people. Are you
Yeah.
good at checking up on people?
I could be better, I'm sure. I do my best to.
Would you
Um,
what would other people say? Like if I were to ask some of your closest, if I were to ask some of you and they listening, they may be listening. So if I was to ask some of your closest friends, hey, did she check up? What do you think they would say?
I think they would say yes.
All
I think they would say yes. I do.
right.
That's to check up on them. I don't know. I could be better, I'm sure.
Mm, but you feel like
Um,
they would say yes.
I feel like they would say yes. Yeah.
Okay. How often do people check up on you?
They do a decent job.
Are you sure? Don't be lying. Don't be trying to make them sound good.
Um,
Do you feel like you've been checked? Do you feel like you get checked up on pretty often, or do you feel like you have people around you that care about you?
I definitely have people around me that care about me. That's for sure. Yes.
And what about checking up? Do they check up on you?
Um, there are people that check up on me, yes.
I don't know. Okay. No, I'm playing.
There are people that check up on me, Trey. There are. There are.
Okay. Want to make sure.
Yeah.
Do you are you pretty transparent with the people that check up on you, or do you feel like for the most part you're someone that's very reserved and you tend to you lean more so towards not revealing everything, but just giving them the bare minimum?
I think it depends on who's checking up on me.
Mm, okay. So, but do you have people that you are bare with?
Yeah. Yeah, I have people that I'm very transparent with and will share everything with.
Do you trust those people to keep what it is that you talk about with them? Like, or like, do you tell them not to share this with other people? Do you trust them with that information, or
Yeah,
you
I
just
do. Mm,
okay?
yeah, I do.
Have you ever had somebody break that trust? And how
Yeah.
did you respond?
I have had people break that trust before. Um, and when that's happened, typically like I will phase back what I talk about with them.
Mhm.
Um, I'll probably have a conversation with them about like how that broke my trust with them.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is typically what happens.
Mm.
And then like slowly they can gain trust back.
Can you gain trust back? Like when a person does,
Yes.
violate. So, but when they do violate something like that, like a trust or something that you've told them, or secrets you've revealed, privacy you have shared, and they violate that, it, you know how that people are like it's never the same. Like they may say that you know what I'm saying. They're like it's never really the same. We never get back to the exact same. How do you feel about
It
that?
is harder. Like it is difficult. It does
Mm,
take time. It really does. Um, but it the trust can be brought back. Like It can. You just have to work on
Mm,
it. You have to recognize that it is something that takes time,
mm,
not like going to happen overnight, but you have to get like it's like baby steps, I think, with it. It's like you give them a little piece of information, like a little extra, like something, and then you say, "Hey, please don't share this with anybody," right?
yeah.
And you kind of test the waters. Did they share it?
Yeah.
And if they didn't, then you're like, okay, then maybe give them a bigger piece of information next time.
Mm,
It's kind of just like that. Then you see where it goes. Kind of like what we were talking about with Elise, with the boundaries, how they,
yeah.
how they can flow, how they can like, it doesn't have to be rigid. Some of your boundaries are very rigid. Some of those like broken trusts, like some of that stuff is gonna last like for a long time. Some of
Yeah.
it will like you'll build up on it. I don't know. I
Oh,
hope that
that's
makes
good. That's good. That's good. Would you say, and again, this is, like I said, I'm jumping around. Again, I know you're on TikTok, so for people on TikTok, we're not really talking about anything too specific. We're just talking about mental health in general.
maybe
Um,
you can check and see if you can actually hear yourself when you go if you want to check. I don't know if you can check. You probably can't because you're on your phone, right?
exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm sure people can hear you because of the way I have it set up. So
Okay. But no, I'm curious to know if have you ever had moments where you just wanted to scream? Like, and what I mean by scream is like inwardly you were punching
yeah.
walls, you were screaming, you were kicking,
Yep. Yeah, I've been there.
you've been there.
Yeah, I've been there.
Have you had moments where you felt like you almost lost it, where you would like completely like a nervous breakdown, if you will?
A nervous breakdown? I mean, I guess, yeah. My
Really?
my almost I mean, that was kind of a nervous breakdown, I would say.
Yeah. Oh.
Like,
Did people go ahead?
and that attempt was an almost nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Mm.
well, not it wasn't really a nervous breakdown, but it was a breakdown for sure.
Did people, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Did people know that do you feel like people saw it or did you dress it up very well?
People didn't really at that time, people didn't really know and didn't really check up on me. Like I was the person to be checked or to check on people, but not really get checked up on at that time.
Mm.
So like, no, people didn't know that that was happening.
Do you feel like people checked up on you more after your attempt? Like, how has that been a thing?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Mhm.
Like people have checked up and they've kind of like done a lot better since then.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Do you feel like they check up because they're afraid that you're going to do it again, or they check up because they're just like, man, we should have been doing this in the first place?
I mean, I think at first it was like because of that, especially like right afterwards. And then especially um after the um after my divorce and everything, like there were some people that were like really checking up on me to make sure
Yeah,
everything um I do still have people that check up, but like I'm in a much better place now. So like so the checking up has become a little bit less because they're like, she's good now,
yeah,
I guess. It's
mm,
kind of like, should it stop? I mean, like, not necessarily. Like, I did get sometimes though, like I did get a little bit annoyed, like if like you ask like too much. Like
too
it was
much. Yeah,
like it's like for me, it was like some of it was like it's like too much. It's like I don't like all the attention. I don't like all that like all the time, you know?
yeah, yeah.
So like for me, like a once a week, like, hey, how you doing? Is fine with me.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
every day, I feel like it's a little much. Like, but it's only because they care, right? You know?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Wow. Thank you for again that transparency, Kay. That is, I don't think it's easy to have that type of transparency. Um, but you get it. There was another one I was about to ask you. Dang it. Dang it, freaking slipped my mind. What was I about to say? Oh, how does how would you recommend someone to heal mentally? Someone that was going through a mental scar, a mental battle, a mental bruise. How would you recommend, or what would you recommend for them to heal?
I mean, truthfully, like I would recommend going to a counselor, going to a therapist. Um, like it's super helpful in starting
Hmm.
the process.
Yeah,
They it trained and equipped with like different tools, different like theories to help you.
yeah, yeah,
Like, um, and it's meant to be catered towards what you need and the things
yeah,
that you're bringing up like why you're going so they can work with that, dig deeper into issues maybe that you haven't thought about and dealt with, give you like
yeah,
practice to do, like the journaling techniques, breathing techniques, just
yeah,
like raising things in your mind. Um, like when like sometimes like for me it's like I had a lot of like negative self-talk. So like um something that my like counselor had um given me was like just like telling yourself stop, like like stopping that thought, freezing it, kind of like um it's like a mental image, like you have this mental image of like a stop sign in your mind
yeah.
whenever like that thought goes on. um so yeah,
Can you
that
see those subtitles at the bottom?
the subtitles.
You have them on Zoom. Can you see those?
No, I don't see subtitles on Zoom.
Oh, okay, okay. So you may not be able to see them, but I put subtitles on because now I'm on Zoom. I'm on live on TikTok on mine. I'm like, they can read the subtitles.
Oh, okay. Well, that works.
Yep. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your train of thought.
You're good. You're good. Um, yeah. So
Do,
that is, I don't
do you
know.
feel like
I think
what's
I
wrong?
answered. I think I answered the question. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. You really did. And I would say another question, to just kind of back up that question.
Mhm.
Um, when it comes down to the mental, have you had moments, well, I'm pretty sure you have, but have you always seen a correlation with your mental and physical? Like when you were never, or when you're not mentally there, have you always physically been affected by that as well? Like whether it's cleaning your room, cleaning your house, like are there things, or are those things that you would see?
Yeah. When I am in a mental slump, when I'm in like a depressive state,
Yeah,
especially, like you can definitely see that in my activity level. You can see that in my like even like with like my house, like the cleaning sometimes it's like when I really get into like a depression, right?
yeah,
Then it's like my out I feel like the outside starts to look like the inside, or even like when you're having like panic or like anxiety or just like feeling overwhelmed, sometimes it's like I'm like, oh my gosh, my house is starting to look like my mind, you know?
yeah, yeah,
So when it gets like that, then there's times where I'm like, okay, you really have to take the time to um clean up your space.
Yeah.
Like once that happens, like once I get my like space clean, I start to feel like the effects, like the anxiety kind of lessen, the um, you know, uh different things kind of like, so I feel like there is a correlation definitely to
Yeah.
um like your mental health and physical stuff that's going on, or even just the space around you, the environment around you. It definitely plays a part. Um, Sometimes you have to force yourself out of those things and just like
Mm,
do it anyways, because you know it will be good for you. Because there's sometimes like where it's like when I have been depressed or whatever, it's like I don't feel like even going to the gym, but the gym helps me like feel better, like it does give like that serotonin boost. Or just like sometimes it's just nice to like lift heavy things
yeah. Yeah.
and feel strong for a little bit. Although sometimes like when you're not feeling great, um you can uh sometimes it also just affects like how I lift, like maybe uh, I can't lift as heavy as I did before. So, um, I don't know. It's just things like that.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, these are I appreciate you. Like you giving me so much that, I didn't even ask for. Like you're pouring out and being transparent in so many different ways that I was not expecting, I'm gonna be honest. But I appreciate it. I appreciate your transparency. Um, let me ask you this. Um, one more question.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We're getting close to time.
Yeah, yeah, I'm trying to make sure.
I
I'm trying
like
to make sure.
5.
I just want to make sure this last question is the question I want to hear from you. You got a lot of good things.
Yeah, you got the pressure's on now.
Hey, pressure's on. I love picking your brain, and I pick it for other people too that I think will see this. That's why I'm asking you questions that I think other people will see, or I hope other people will see. Um, so I'm also asking you for the benefit of others.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the reason why I try to be as honest and transparent as possible,
Yeah,
because I think it can be helpful for other people. Or at least I hope it is.
yeah. How important would you say it is to talk to somebody, to have somebody that you can talk to have somebody that can listen, and to have someone that you can be vulnerable with, even if it's a stranger, even if it's coming on TikTok live, and you know what I'm saying, like,
I think it's extremely important to be able to talk to somebody. I think it's extremely important to like be able to be vulnerable with somebody. I mean, I would, you know, um, I think if it can be a stranger, hopefully it's a stranger that's a positive force, right? Like like you don't want to just like vent to anybody, because not everybody's gonna take it, well. Not everybody's gonna respond to you well. So like I think you do still need to be careful with who you just like spread or share things with, um
mhm,
but I mean if you're a safe space, like I know you're a safe space, like this is a safe space.
mhm,
I try to be a safe space for people to talk to. Um but I think it's very important to have somebody that you can talk to, somebody that you can vent with, somebody that you can be vulnerable with. Um, and uh, yeah, I think that's very, very important.
Wow. That's really good. Hey, do I have one more? Okay, one more question.
You've got,
Wh-
yeah, like 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Do you believe when people say I don't have anyone? Do you believe when someone says I don't have anyone to talk to, I don't have anybody I can open up to and be transparent with? Do you believe that, or do you feel like there's always someone?
I believe that they believe that for sure. And I believe that that could be real for them, you know?
Mm, mm,
But I think that there could be someone, you know, like if they looked for someone.
mm,
Um, because um even a pastor or um, a counselor, the crisis lines that you can call, like there's always a resource. Um,
mm.
like so they might not have anybody within their actual circle, which I mean I hope that they do, but they may not. And if they don't, then those are the resources that I would like suggest that they look into is um, a helpline, um, a you know, um, a community counselor, a
Yeah.
counselor, even like going to a pastor, a priest, a religious place, a spiritual,
Mm.
like somebody there would, I'm sure, talk to you.
Wow. That's good. That's good. I appreciate that, Kay. I truly appreciate that. Like I said, this was not some specific mental health topic, but it's just an all around jumping to and fro to kind of pick your brain about certain things, certain questions, certain topics, certain points that I think are very important. Um, and boy, did you deliver. Boy, did you show out in regards to your experiences and what your thoughts were on the issues in the matter. Um, yeah, you doubled down and gave more than what I was hoping to get. Um, Thank you. All I can say is thank you to this and thank you for this and just thank you for your transparency and your willingness to be vulnerable and open because obviously it's not an easy thing. It's not, but you were that. And um, I'm sure it was refreshing too because I know how refreshing it can be to just talk about these things.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, sometimes it's a little like I won't lie. Sometimes it's a little nerve-wracking. You're like, oh my gosh,
Hmm.
pretty vulnerable right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so you know, but uh, but yeah,
And
I it is good though. It is good to like let it out and to
yeah,
express it, and it can be a release.
absolutely, absolutely. Hands down agree. Hands down agree. I know it's time.
As
And I
time is
want to give us our 5 minute
gotta take
interval.
to into the fitness call.
Yep,
And then I can like during the transition time, I can chat with the people who are in my TikTok so that
exactly.
they don't feel lonely.
Exactly. Exactly. No, no, no. Talk to them. Let them know what's up. But thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, let's transition over to fitness.
Yeah, we will do that. I will see you on the next
See
on.
you soon. Let's do it.
All right. Bye.
All right, Kay. Bye.